નમસ્કાર, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી. Student, today we are going to start Standard 7th Social Science, Chapter number 6, Administrative System and Architecture during the Medieval Age. Kasam means Lok Dairo, means a group of folk singers was organized in the village square, means chowk, and the entire village had gathered there at night. So one night there is a one Lok Dairo whose name was Kasam's Mir. There was a one Lok Dairo was organized in the village and entire village had gathered there and meet there at night. Small children had already taken their positions in the front row. Children also took their position in front row. They sit and patriotic songs. Patriotic song means related to our country, for our country, who died for our country, for that person. They sang a song, that one is patriotic song, means Desh Bhakti Geet, were also being sung at the Lok Dairo along with folk song. So in the Lok Dairo there is a patriotic song and folk song was also sung by the people. Utsav like the Palya recital. Recital means rehearsal, to do practice. Song sung in honor of martyrs. Martyr means death, who the person who died for the country very much. The next day he asked his grandfather, what does Palya mean? So next day he also asked his grandfather, what is the meaning of Palya? So what is the meaning of Palya? So he asked his grandfather. So the meaning of Palya is, means the Palya or Khambi is a type of memorial found in the western India, especially in Saurashtra and Kutch region of Gujarat, state of India. They are found in Sindh region of Pakistan also. They mostly commemorate the death of a person. This stone, here also we can see the picture, these stones monuments have symbol and inscription. There are several type of memorials including dedicated the warriors, means whom the person who died for the country. So meaning of Palya is like, so his grandfather, he told to him that a Palya is a memorial commemorating the heroes, means the person who died for our country, that one heroes. It is a tribute to martyr. Martyr means the person who died, who have sacrificed their lives with protecting and ensuring the welfare of the people, means the person who died for the country and to save the people. To save our country, they sacrificed their life. These Palyas are worshipped during festivals and songs sung as homage. Homage means there is some article work, something in a artwork which has been done in respectful imagination and article work. So to this, martyr means the person who died for the country. This is a culture of our country, his grandfather explained him. Utsav and his friend requested his grandfather, grandfather, please enlighten us about the culture of our country. So Utsav and his friend asked his grandfather that, please grandfather, enlighten means make something clear, tell something more about our culture of our country. Wait, said grandpa. He went in and came back with some pictures. He then asked Utsav, can you see temple in these pictures? It seems as if these stones have their own story to narrate, isn't it? Today I shall tell you about the civilization and culture of the Rajput age. So his grandfather told that wait, and he went into the room and came back with some pictures and he saw to Utsav that, can you see the temples in this picture? These stones have their own story. Narrate means to tell like a story. Today I shall tell you about the civilization and culture of Rajputate. So his grandfather continue his thing and also tell him about the civilization and culture about the Rajput age. Administrative system during the Rajput age. During the Rajput era, India was not ruled over by any one king. India was divided into big and small states, and extent of each kingdom depends on the king's military prowess. You have been briefed about the Rajput kings and dynasties in the previous chapter. In this chapter, you will learn about their administrative system, literature, architecture, and external invention during that time. Now our topic is administrative system during the Rajput age. During the Rajput era, India was not ruled over by any one king. So during Rajput age, India was not ruled only by one king. India was divided into big and small state and extent. Extent means location of each kingdom depends on the king's military prowess, means skillfulness. It is depends on king's prowess, means king's skillfulness. So during the Rajput age, India was not ruled by one king, but it was divided into big or small states. And we can see the location of kingdom depends on the king's military prowess, means what is the skillfulness of the military, that one is depend on them. You have been briefed about the Rajput kings and dynasty in the previous chapter. In the fourth chapter we learn Rajput age, so we learn most of the thing about it. In this chapter you will learn about the administrative system, literature, architecture, and external invasion during that time. External invasion. Invasion means a military action of that period. So last chapter we learn about Rajput age, but in this chapter we will learn about administrative system, literature, architecture, and invention of means akraman of military action during that time. That time means Rajput age. First we will learn about administrative system. After the 7th century, various Rajput dynasties ruled in India. However, even though different dynasties come to power, there was a little change in the administrative system. So in the 7th century, many Rajput dynasties was ruled in India. We know all the things, and even though there is a different dynasties, and in there also South dynasty, there is two part, north part and south part, and many dynasties. We learn everything about that, and there was a little change in administrative system. Now what is the change we can learn? Through kingship was hereditary. Hereditary means legally granted to somebody's descendant after that person's death. So it means one king is there, and after the king's death his son will be king. So that one is called hereditary. It was not compulsory. See, it was not compulsory that the eldest son would always automatically become the next king. So in short we can say the kingship was hereditary, means after the death of king, if he died, king died, so his elder son, it is not compulsory, means it is not necessary that his eldest son will be the ascend the throne, means he was become the king. but the heir means successor and apparent means capable, selected by the king was called the crown prince. So the king can also decide who will be the hereditary. It is not compulsory that the eldest son will be the become king, but who is heir means successor. Heir means successor and who is capable for the become the king. That one is known as the crown prince. In the some cases, even people and minister elected or selected their king. So in many cases also it happened. So many people and minister also elected means selected their king themselves. For example, while in Kashmir, Yasaskar was selected and enthroned by Brahmin group. In Gujarat, Kumarpal was selected as the successor by the Council of Ministers. So in the Kashmir, there is one example also in the Kashmir. Yasaskar was also selected by the Brahmin groups, and in the Gujarat, Kumarpal was also selected by the minister. The minister were appointed to assist the king to administer and manage the kingdom effectively. Yet at time people became victim of poor, wrong administrative policies. The minister were appointed to assist the kings means the king also can appoint various ministers for the proper administration and management of his kingdom. These were different ministers for different work, yet there are few cases in the administration and history where the people suffered a lot. Now next topic is administrative system in the villages. Village institutions were very important during the medieval period. The panchayat looked after its administration. The head of the panchayat was called mukhi or sarpanch. So who is the head is known as mukhi or sarpanch. And he was the responsible for protecting and delivering justice to the villagers. His was the final word. Still in many cases the Gram Sabha would also give verdict. Meaning of verdict is opinion or judgment and punish culprits. Culprits means prisoner, the person at fault for the problem. Even today, at the village level, the Gram Panchayat or the elders of the Panchayat provide guideline to the people. So the kingdom was divided to the different villages, and the villages had self-rule institution which played important role in the administration of the village. These institutions were called panchayat. This institution is known as panchayat, and the head of the panchayat called mukhi or sarpanch, and he was the responsible to protect the protection and justice for the villagers. His was the final words which he decided. His words were the final verdict. Verdict means we already know verdict means judgment. And he also give punishment to the prisoner. Even today, the village level, Gram Panchayat or the elders or the Panchayat provide guidelines to the people. At that time, land revenue was the main income of the kingdom. The meaning of revenue is the income returned by the investment. Each kingdom had different ways of collecting land revenue, but usually the sixth part of the cultivation was taken at the land revenue. Apart from this, other taxes were also levied. Levied means collect money. On the people, different officers were appointed for different activities. Moreover, taxes were collected at port and octroi points. Landlords collected the tax, paid tribute to the kings. So, land revenue was the chief sources of income of the king and his kingdom. Each kingdom had its own way of the deciding the amount of revenue to be collected. However, as the per general, the sixth part, how many part? It's a sixth part of the cultivation have to give to the collected as the land revenue. And apart from this, other taxes, to the king for the administration for the state and kept the remaining amount with them to maintain the army. Apart from the land revenue, people also paid fewer other taxes. Moreover, taxes were also collected at port and octroi. Landlord collected the tax and paid tribute to the kings. All the taxes were paid to the kings. Now our topic is literature. During the Rajput age, there was a lot of religious writing as well as literature of various kinds. Scholars and education received great patronage. Patronage means support from kings. So during the Rajput age, there was very lot of religious writing literature, and scholars and education also full support the great from kings. So from the kings also they get full support. Many literary work were composed in Sanskrit, Prakrit, Tamil, Kannada, Telugu, etc. The great Sanskrit poet Magh composed the epic Shishupalvad. So Magh also he wrote a epic. It is known as Shishupalvad, and it is for what this epic described the killing of Shishupal by Lord Sri Krishna. Similarly, the other poet Sri Harsh was also wrote the epic of Naishad Charitra, which is about the story of Nal and Damayanti. Even the song of Radha and other gopis sung in a praise of Lord Krishna were presented in lyrical. Lyrical means expression, the writer and emotion in a beautiful way. So the Lord Krishna's there was presented lyrical manner, for whom Radha and other gopis sung for Lord Krishna. Biography or achievement of the king were also composed in a poetic manner. Hemchandracharya wrote Kumarpal Charita and a grammar book, Siddha Hem Sabdanushashan, as the title indicate the name of King Siddharaj Jaisingh and Hemchandracharya are associated with this book. This book was considered so important that it was placed on an elephant during the procession in Patan. Procession means a number of people or vehicle moving forward in order fashion, especially as a part of ceremony. So it one is also procession in Patan. For the Hemchandracharya, we can say the great Jain Sant Guru Hemchandracharya composed Kumar Pal Charita, which is poet based work on the king of Gujarat belong to Solanki dynasty and called Raja Kumarpal. He also wrote grammar book, is also known as the Siddham Sabdanu Shashan. The word Siddh refers to the Siddharth Jaisi. And the ruling king, and Hem refers to Hemchandracharya. This book appreciated so much that it was kept the elephant and the procession carried out in the Patan to honor it. Not only poetry but plays. Plays means drama, where also Bhavbhuti wrote Uttar Ramcharitra while Pandit Narayan composed Hitopdesh. See, Bhavbhuti was wrote in Uttar Ramcharit and Pandit Narayan composed Hitopdesh, a collection of story based on Panchatantra. All children, small children, most of like know all this word Panchatantra means there is a full cartoon story for small children. Either your school or nearby library must be having books containing collection of stories or folk tales. Let's us now a reading activity. Here also some poet or author name given and what is the work done by them. This given and we can also learn more thing with the video.
Student, today we are going to start standard 7. Subject is social science. Chapter number 6, administrative system and architecture during the medieval age. So question is, why is the Rajput age called the golden period of literature? So answer is very simple. Rajput kings were lovers of art and literature. Second, the kings of patronized scholars, academicians and literary figures. The great author of this age composed many literary works in Sanskrit, Prakrit, Tamil, Kannada and Telugu, etc. Here are following is the list of the main works composed in the Rajput era. So first one, here are serial number, who is the author, poet and works done by him. So first one is Hemchandracharya, Kumarpal Charita, Siddham Sabdanu Shashan. Second is Madhav Sisupalvar. Third one is Sri Harsh, Neshak Charita. Fourth one Bhavbhuti. Written his work is Uttar Ramcharita. Fifth one Pandit Narayan. His work is Hitopdesh. Sixth one Vishakhadat, Mudra Rakshas. 7. Chand Bardai. His work is Prithviraj Vasu. And last one Somdev. His work is Katha Sare Sagar.
Thank you for joining us.